¿Estoy grabando, sí o no? As soon as I hit the record button, this dog is... I am a pet sitter, and as of lately, and inflation was happening, all-time records, everything. So I just wanted to bump up my prices. And then I noticed that I am a 5-star pet sitter. I noticed that I am 25 years old. I've been doing this since I was 18. I actually been doing this since I was 16 years old. I started to take myself seriously at 18. And so I've handled all sorts of dog breeds. I've handled all sorts of personalities. I drive to people. I pick up pets. I really be going above and beyond this, and it was a side hustle, dude. When I first started this, it was just for fun. It wasn't even a side hustle, it was just for fun. And then eventually it became even more like, it was more than just a side hustle. It was bleeding into my it wasn't even bleeding into my schedules. I would get interviews and I would get phone calls and I would get text messages from people that wanted me a little bit more serious, a little bit more dedication to their dogs. And I was about it. I wanted to, if it meant more money, I wanted it. So my boyfriend made me my flyer. And he volunteered. He wanted to make me my flyer, and I agreed. I was like, all right, then I would love to see your ideas and let me know. So he made me my flyer, and then he has like the copy and everything. And so I'm always at work. We have opposite schedules. And so I was like, hey, that flyer you made me, I really, really love it. I was just hoping if you could update my pricing on it. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, I want to change my pricing. I have different rates. Like, I want to charge more. And he told me straight up, he's like, no, you're not going to charge more. No one's going to pay you. And I was so shocked because I was like, it's not up for a discussion. I want you to change the pricing on the flyers. I charge more. That's not the price I charge. He said, no. He's like, no, I'm not changing the price. Like, you can't change the price. No one's going to pay you that amount. No one's going to pay you the rates that you want. What are you trying to charge? And I told him. And he's like, no one's going to pay you that. And in that moment, I have never wanted to get so violent. In that moment, I really wanted to start throwing things at him. In that moment, I just couldn't believe what was coming out of his mouth in front of me, in front of my face. I just couldn't believe it. And I was like, internally, and you know why? I didn't do anything that I said that I wanted to do. I just kept my mouth shut, and it took all of me to just breathe and take it. And I took what he said to me, because you know why? He didn't know. He didn't know that I already got done with interviews and I got paid in advance. I got paid up front. I'm going to get, they saw my flyers, and I literally charged them more than what the price was on the flyers, because it was more work. It wasn't just because I wanted to. They told me the type of dog they had. They told me the type of schedule. They told me what the dog needs. They told me the routine. So it is what it is. You want my time, I have to charge you for the time. It was just interesting that he was like, I was thinking that in less than 30 seconds, I thought about that. I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, all right then. So I went on my account. I have a pet sitting profile on a certain website. I went on that account and I changed the pricing on that account. And then I was like, I'm just gonna change the pricing on my online profile, and on the flyer, I'll just print out more and I'll do what I've been doing. I'll just listen to what people tell me about their schedule and the routine, and I'll decide from then on what I want to charge. So I took it. Maybe a couple weeks later, maybe a month later, I get a phone call and someone's asking for a pet training session, including an hour walk, 30-minute walk, something like that. And eventually she would love to have me as a house sitter. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so she asked me my rates. Before I answered her, I had a flashback that I was listening to a business podcast. And there's this episode, and this lady said, each and every new client you get, charge them 20% more than your previous client or than your original rate. And I was like, that's way too much money. That is way too much money. I'm going to just see what I can do. I'm going to see what I want to charge and this and that. So, but in that case, this lady on the phone, I was thinking while she was telling me, And I thought about what I just said, and so I told her these numbers that I have never thought I could charge. I told her numbers that I never thought, like, and she took them. I told her, she asked me each rate for each service, and I told her, and she said, okay, I can do that, and this and that, and she said, okay, and then she offered me a job. She offered me a job. She said she can pay me those rates that she just heard, because she's opening a doggy daycare business. She's opening a business of pets or something like that. And she's looking for trainers. She's looking for people, for employees and this and that. She's willing to pay what I just told her. And I was like, I was so in shock that I was just like, okay, like nothing. I was acting like it wasn't a big deal to me. Like, I get these offers all the time, but it's not. That's not what was happening. And I hang up the phone. My boyfriend, I was in my apartment. My boyfriend came, and he was like, because he was listening to everything. He was like, did you just charge her what you just said? You charged her? Like, did you just charge her this and that and that and that? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, congratulations, she's interested in hiring you. And I was like, yeah. And I was like breathless, and he was like, dude, she wants to work with you. She wants you to go work with her and this and that. And he started fanboying. He started fangirling, fanboying so hard. Just know that there's people out there that want to work with you. And then I was like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to call her back. Like, I need to call her back and thank her for the opportunity, because I couldn't believe what she was saying to me. So I kind of glitched out a little bit. I sounded like I wasn't excited, and I sounded like I wasn't thankful, because I just couldn't believe, first of all, I charged her rates that I didn't think about that I could charge, and she accepted them, and she offered me a job, all in like less than 15-20 minutes of a phone conversation. I've never even met this person. I don't even know who this person is. She says that someone recommended me to her about her dogs and pets and stuff like that, and I don't know, like, she kept saying the name, and I couldn't even understand the name, because it was just a moment in time where I'm like, someone's talking to you about my business. Like, I am impacting people. Dude, I go through depression, and I go through problems in my life that I don't even talk about, because it's not like, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. But I just couldn't believe that my work was impacting people's lives on such a positive note. Like, it's not even just a job or a work for me, but this is an everyday thing I do. And so it's not that I take it for granted. I just didn't realize just how positive of an impact I have on people. And so I was just in shock. I couldn't believe it. And the conclusion to this video is that I disobeyed my boyfriend. And I didn't disobey him to be mean or to think I'm better, or that or like out of greed either. Like, even he told me, he was like, you're being a little greedy. No one's gonna pay you that amount to take care of their dog and this and that. Like, this is a pet sitting business. You have to be nice and this and that. And I'm like, I am nice, but look at the inflation rate. Look at the world. I drive a Jeep. I drive to these places. I don't sleep at my house anymore. What if I didn't have a boyfriend? And I don't sleep at my 1-bedroom apartment. I'm just having an apartment to have it. Like, I don't even live there like that. Like, that's crazy. Like, you need to pay me what I'm worth. Like, the roof over my head costs a certain amount, and I need to pay a certain amount to keep it, to maintain it. And so it's just insane. Like, I never thought I could be doing this. I never thought see, I'm just stuttering again. I never thought that this would be my reality.